Mr. Brown in the opposite baulk corner pocket, cost him the first frame. It's careless, that. Just can't control the cue ball at the moment.
He can't buy a positional shot at the moment, can he? He's putting lots of good balls, but only single balls. And you see, to control that with check side of 2 cushions for the black, but he's just not finding the sweet spot in the white at the moment at all.
Green ball.
He gets this right. Should have the snooker behind the blue.
Stephen Maguire, 1.
Well, certainly on the red on the right-hand side of the table, but hasn't covered the 2 reds on the left-hand side, although this isn't a straightforward safety. If he tries to get the cue ball back to baulk, he'll have to be very wary of a double kiss here. And very wary of leaving one on. Well, he's caught that beautifully. A little nudge on the blue has made it even better. That was a decent shot. Getting a thin contact on the red as he did. Another terrific pot. Is he on a colour? Not really. Thin yellow.
I think if he plays a brown half ball and the snooker behind the green and blue, but he's also taking the brown off the safe position. But it's not a guaranteed snooker.
Thank you. Steve Maguire, 1.
They played it well. Just got to be careful here. There is a 1 cushion escape, but I always feel when you're so close to the first cushion, it's sometimes difficult to judge how it's going to react. And of course, if he doesn't hit these reds correctly, he could well leave one. You'd like to hit the right-hand red of the 2. If he hits the other one, he could leave one on here. Well, possibility of this red to the left corner, but so close to the cue ball, I don't think you'd risk playing it. Half-hearted attempt at the pot. The main thing that he was interested in was getting that cue ball back near that baulk cushion, and he's played that well.
Stephen just come around to see if he does take this red on, what he'll be leaving. I don't think he can leave the other red that's next to the brown. I think the only red he can leave is the one he's playing. quite a comfortable safety shot. Just play the red on the right hand side of it and knock it back up to the bulkhead and leave the white down here.
Well, in the end he did go for the pot, thinking the only red he could leave was the one he played, and that's exactly what's happened. The red he played will cut into the right middle. Don't blame him for playing it, but you never know where they're going to finish up if you miss the pot. Well, I'll tell you what, if he flicks the brownie, he could leave this red on. Well, no, it's run safe. He's struggling at the moment. As we said earlier in the frame, that he's potted some terrific balls, getting nothing for it, and he's struggling a bit with his safety now.
You see the red's pretty straight. I think if it was just off straight, Ali might be tempted to play this and falling through off 2 cushions for the black. But he's, as we've seen through the match, he's not taking anything on that's risky at all.
Going to get plenty aside if he's going to try and get in behind that green and blue and avoid the pink. This looks pretty good. It looks pretty good to me. Steve Maguire in a bit of trouble now. Peter Ebden seemed to like it. We all need to know, where's the cue ball? Well, there's it in hope. There's a red gone to the left corner. If Ali Carter can cue this white and get to the middle of it, and expect him to pot it. If he's hampered, it's difficult. But surely he can't leave it there. Got to play the pot, hampered or not. He's turning it down. Well, he's saying to Stephen Maguire, well, I didn't fancy playing the pot being hampered. You have a go. I think he will.
Steve Maguire had a little tap of the table there with his cue. I think it was a little sarcastic tap, if you ask me.
Yeah, that's why I didn't mention it. I didn't think it was a little tap saying good shot. I think he is as surprised as me. That's the view. The thing is now it's tight to the red. It's a lot more difficult than the shot that Ali refused. Ali wasn't that tight to the red. So Stephen now just pushing his red to the side cushion and trying to cover the one to the left corner with the pink. Needs to slow up a bit, doesn't want it to bounce too far off the cushion. Has he covered the red? He's stopped to have a close look. It's tight.
Thank you.
Well, it's tough at that range, and the cue ball tight under the cushion. You've only got to be a fraction out, and you have to play it with a little bit of pace to get position on the black.
I must admit, I thought when he got an extension he was going to try and cut that red in, but again, choosing the more cautious approach.
Yeah, I mean, from the first couple of shots in this match, I just get the feeling that he's got a game plan, as Ali.
Yeah, I think 95% of professionals would have taken that one there. But they're not in the semi-final of the World Championship, John.
Correct. It's not all about potting balls, as funny enough Ali Carter said in his press conference after he beat Judd Trump. So he's just trying to frustrate Stephen somewhat here.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Stephen's frustrated. He doesn't want to present Stephen with easy chances. Because there you see, Stephen's almost prepared to take anything on to get going. So perhaps Ali's approach is the correct one at the minute.
Good clean pot. Nice flick off the second red. Kiss on the blue. Perfect on the green. Ali Carter at the moment, 4 points behind. So it's not going to be an easy run to the winning line in this frame. This green will put him 1 point behind. So the awkward blue is the obvious stumbling block.
Four.
He could choose to play the red here for the green into its own pocket, hopefully leave an angle to play a cannon on the blue and leave himself on the yellow.
Five.
No, it's just drop the red in. The only problem if he's got a half ball green here and decides to take the blue off, he's leaving himself quite a long way away from the
Seven.
brown.
Nine.
Well, he has that opportunity you were mentioning, Stephen, but as you say, if he catches the blue as he wants to develop it, then he won't have good close position on the brown.
There's even a danger of snooking himself on the brown.
12.
Well, he's played it, and he's played it well. And he now needs one good pot on the brown. He doesn't have to do anything for position. The blue's there, ready and waiting. And brown and blue will do. Right in the heart of the pocket.
60.
So whatever his strategy is in this match, after losing the first 2 frames, it's beginning to bear fruition because he's been in control of this frame as he was in the 2 frames before the mid-session interval.
Ali Carter,
Missing
21.
the double means that he's 16 points in front, 13 points remaining, 1 snooker needed. Pretty good line. What's the length like? Pretty good line. What's the length like? Perfect!
People have been appreciating that shot. That's the best shot of the match so far. Not only snookering, Ali, but getting the white touching ball in the black makes it so difficult.
Well, that's the line he'll be looking for. It's pretty close. It's pretty close. Not close
Stephen Maguire,
enough.
6.
No miss can be called, of course, because we're in the snooker's required stage. And that's why Ali Carter played it at that pace. So if he didn't hit the pink, he wouldn't be leaving it on easy. And it's not easy from there. It's got a slight angle, but tight under the baulk cushion. Acute potting angle, almost straight, forcing it through for the black. Surely not on. Just a safety come snooker.
Good pace in the white ball. Stops Ali from having a go at this pink.
Where's this cue ball going? Where's this cue ball going?
Well, Steve Maguire,
Well,
6.
would you believe it? Would you believe it? We have a new favourite for the frame.
Settle down, please. Thank you.
Pink and black needed for a frame that Ali Carter looked certain to win.
Six.
Well, tricky black to play. As I say, I always used to feel with this type of shot there was always a possibility of a in-off in the middle pocket. But if you can play it plain ball without having to avoid in-offs, it makes the pot just a little bit easier. Overcut it.
Stephen Maguire, 6.
Overcut it. And because he played it slowly, he's left it on.
Thank you.
In goes the black, so the scare that Ali Carter had when Steve Maguire needed a snooker, and what a snooker he got. But in the end, he couldn't complete the job, and Ali Carter goes ahead, 3 frames to 2.
Well, a couple of frames into the match, we were looking at Ali Carter going, he looks a little bit irritated, Steve Maguire's got the 2-frame advantage. And now, 5 frames in the match gone, and Maguire looks like the person who's not enjoying it.
Yeah, it's like nightmare snooker for Stephen Maguire. All of a sudden he got given a lifeline with some fantastic shots, and then to effectively at this level waste an opportunity with ball in the D and the pink very potable to get on the black. He had plenty of room for error, but I think still the pace of the table has messed everybody up. So it's very scrappy. A horrible session for both players. It's just basically who can not damage limitation. If whatever player comes out in front at the end of this session will feel like, you know, forget about it, but I've got a lead, to start again.
Yeah, it's almost like starting with a handicap start.
I mean, if someone had said to me that after 5 frames of snooker in the World semi-final, Stephen Maguire's highest break would be 21 and he'd be in front 3-2, I'd never have believed it. I mean, he's not because of that missing the black off the spot, but he could have been. He could have been 3-2 in front with a 21 highest break.
Is this simply developed into a battle of patience?
It's just a tough part of the match, or part of the 2 weeks that both players have got to get through. But you know, when you're winning those scrappy frames, most players, not every player, Ronnie O'Sullivan doesn't like winning scrappy frames. You can see sometimes that affects him. Most players, when they win scrappy frames, they're not too worried about the fact they haven't played brilliantly. It doesn't have to be pretty all the time, but if you're losing the scrappy frames, that can be awful on your morale.
I mean, talking about, we're going to risk of repeating myself. Maguire needs to win a frame in one visit here just to settle into this match, because you know it'll be at the back of your mind that you haven't scored yet in this final.
Little shot of Peter Ebdon there. He's in Ali's corner. He's been sort of brought into the Ali Carter team for moral support. It's great to have a world champion in your corner.
Well, I think Ali Carter would be mighty relieved to have won that last frame. But it just shows you, you know, when you get to the one snooker required stage, it's not over by any means, the frame. Oh, terrific pot. Needs a full ball kiss on the brown if it's going to be any good to him. And he's got the kiss. And the brown's on. Well, this looked an excellent 9'6", and then 2 foot 1 inches to the pocket, nearly tight on the cushion. Good clean pot. And, well, you deserve a bit of good fortune when you pot balls like that.
What a lift Ali Carter would have got from getting away with that last frame. He must have thought when white went off, he'd lost it. What a reprieve.
6.
Just got hold of the white a little bit too much. It's a little thinner cut than he would have liked. He would have liked to have the opportunity to go in the pack and stay in this red that's closest to the black. He can still play the shot. Just the cut's a little bit thinner than he planned.
Ali Carter, 6.
And it was all brought about by the poor positional shot off the red.
Touching ball.
I didn't expect him to miss it, but he was just a bit concerned about getting position on the next red, and we see it so many times, took his eye off the pot.
He didn't seem to play with any great conviction. I mean, John didn't play with any great pace.
1.
I think he's a much better player, Ali Carter, when he's been more positive, going for his shots.
Yeah, that was the one. He just needed that cue ball to run through just another 2 or 3 inches. It made the black unmissable. Yeah, we're pointing out that Peter Ebdon's in his corner. Maybe these are the type of things that Peter have been saying. You know, don't take many undue risks. But this level, can you win a match by just trying to force your opponent into making mistakes? At the moment, it's working.
6.
Yeah, but is it at the cost of playing your best natural game?
7.
I assume the pink goes on the black spot, and this red at the top of the cluster will pass the black into the corner.
13.
It's a bit risky if you wanted to pot this and run through these reds. You might finish on nothing.
14.
Well, he may be just on the black, or is he? It was risky, that, I thought, Stephen.
Another nice shot. He was a bit unlucky. This red is on, but he could have had something easier than that. He just played that white perfectly in the middle of all the reds.
Yes, and it was a very thin cut on the black. Can he make the most of this opportunity? Just needs to get good position on blue or bought colour here, you feel.
22.
The flick's not helped him. Okay, the blue's still cuttable into the right centre. Well, it's his highest break, but in professional snooker, unless it's over 40, we don't really call it a break. Didn't want to flick on the yellow, but it's not done too much harm to the positional side of the shot.
27.
Still on this red.
$28.
And this is probably the first time in these World Championships that Stevens had to dig deep. Obviously in his last match, can't remember who he played, he had it all his own way.
Yeah, 7 times former world champion it was. Lovely lad.
33. $34.
If you do want to win the World Championship, you're not going to have it your own way all the time. So these are the times where you have to show what you're made of.
It's not bad. It's going to be slightly
49.
hampered by the pink. It's one of those shots I don't think you just roll in. So come to the match time of 2 hours, just over 2 hours, and Stephen with a frame-winning opportunity here, but as I say, just hampered by the pink.
40.
Well, he's not going to be on the black. Is he on the pink? I think it was just one of those where he was slightly hampered by the pink, and I think in the end he may have played for the pink, but he just needs to play at a bit more pace. And if you could have got your hand on the table, maybe have stunned it a bit more too. Anyway, is he taking this blue on? Well, it's his choice. Wouldn't be mine. Well, that's a great pot. That's a tremendous shot. Maybe born out of frustration. Whatever, it still had to be got.
46.
That blue was a fantastic shot, and we all seen how frustrated he was when he didn't have an easy colour to play. But to be able to get down, there's a lot of pressure on this blue.
53.
I mean, if he misses this, there's a good chance he can go 4-2 behind.
54.
Strong favourite to level the match at 3-all.
Well, John Parrott was saying in the studio, and you couldn't disagree
61.
with him, that he needed to win a frame in one visit. And it looked for a moment as though he
62.
was getting near to doing, but was just going to fail. But after that tremendous shot on the blue, it's won it for him now. You see it, 63 ahead, just 51
69.
remaining.
$70.
Just got into a little bit too much, disappointed it didn't come
77.
off the top cushion, but the frame's well and truly over. But he's thinking he'd love to make a century. And he may still do. Give himself a chance.
$81.
Terrific shot. Not ideal on green or brown here. So it'll be a good shot to get good position on the yellow. Green to the left middle, I feel. Well, he had to use a lot of pace to get it in, and
Stephen Maguire, 82.
he'll be disappointed he didn't make the century, but he'd be very happy with the way he played that frame, and that blue was top draw. So Stephen Maguire will be feeling a whole lot better. He levels 3-all.
One of the best players that we've got on tour. Aggressive when he needs to be. He knows when to push that button. Tactically very, very clever.
He's got the all-round game, as all great players have.
We sort of set the standard for, you know, myself, Sean Murphy, Mark Selby, and yeah, those sort of players coming through.
Very aggressive around the table, shows his emotions quite a lot.
He tries to bully players, and he does it a lot of the time. He's a great player.
Short-tempered, banging tables, where he gets so frustrated with himself, but I like that about him.
Somebody you don't mind going for a drink with.
Enjoys life. He's a good guy to be around to have a couple of beers with.
He's just destined to win the World Championship one day because he's that good a player as well.
So Ali Carter gets frame 7 underway, and it's really beginning to develop in a very interesting match. This, you've got Ali Carter, who's going to try and play a no-risk policy, and Stephen Maguire, who looks as though he's prepared to take anything on. That was close. Is the blue going to come to his rescue? That's what you hope when you miss a pot like that. And it has. But there may be another red. The one just to the right of the cluster. I think that will go to the right corner. Expected to pot that. Well, he's not attempting, and it's risky going back to balk. Didn't even attempt it. So as I say, you've got two different types of game being played here, and it's going to make it a very, very interesting match here. Ali Carter he's going on the defensive.
I think sooner or later he's going to have to take some pots on, because I think Stephen Maguire can only get stronger. He's not played well so far this match. Played well in the last frame, but sooner or later these long balls are going to go in for Maguire.
Yeah, I think if you have a strategy in a match, it's okay having that, but it seemed after he lost the first 2 frames, Ali, he came out the next 2 frames, a lot more purpose, attacking, made breaks of 46 and then a 91, and now it seems as though he's gone back in his shell again. I mean, I'm not blaming him for that, he just needed to miss the yellow. And that can happen at any time. So Stevens potted a good long red, but just not got the right side of the blue. Although there is a red available if he just rolls the blue in. Well, he just had a slight angle to get closer to the red. But I don't think he can play for the black. The pink's tied up, so it's back up for the blue, and important he gets a good angle on this blue now.
You hit that nicely. Maybe going into the reds here. They've got quite a big angle in the blue here, so you need to use the reds just to kill the pace in the white, if nothing else.
Well, he couldn't have played that any better. And if you catch that pink full in the face and stop the cue ball in the middle of the table, then if you're not on anything, you're very unlucky. Well, you could have wished for something easier than this. I mean, this red's potable, but it's letting the cue ball run loose a little bit. And he was able to control it nicely. Possibility, if he just judges this right, could get the black into play, just run through, black for the opposite corner.
19.
Well, he caught the second red a bit too thick. So he's got the pink to the left middle, but he's just got to be careful. It's all about getting a good line, good length, and I mean, it'd be a very basic error if he ran into the yellow, but just got to avoid a kiss on the yellow. And that's why he stunned it in. Nearly caught the brown. Now he's trusted a little bit to luck here for position.
25.
Has he had any? Maybe the red just below the pink will go to the right middle. But nothing straightforward. If it was, he'd be downplaying it by now.
He wants to play the red that's beneath the pink into the right centre, but he has to play a cannon to get on a colour, and it's not guaranteed. Don't think he can get in the black. The red that's directly below the red he wants to pot, if he cannons that half ball, there's a chance he can leave himself in the pink into the left centre.
Yes, but if he just catches it a little bit thinner, he could be snookered on the pink, snookered on the black, and nowhere to go. Well, he's trying to play for the pink, I think, in the same pocket as this red. No, he tried to nudge over, but he caught it too thin, and that's what happens. He just slid, so covered himself, and that cues takes a little bit of a knock again. Banged his head. In the last frame, we saw him run out of position on pink and black and pot a tremendous blue. That's not an option this time. He can't get through to the potting angle on the blue.
Rainbow. Stephen Maguire, 26.
Slumps back in his seat, disappointed. It can be a frustrating game at the best of times, but this looks a good line. It's a pretty good shot, that, from Ali. I thought for a moment he may just have the line to snooker Stephen behind the yellow, but not so. Well, he's no hesitation. He's taking this on. Strange, this. Strange. He just seems determined to make things happen. Ali Carter's prepared to sit back and let it happen, if you know what I mean.
One.
And don't you think, Stephen, that if Stephen Maguire is going to go for that type of shot, it will only encourage Ali to keep to his game plan?
Absolutely. I'll say, why do I need to take a risk if my opponent's going to keep taking rash shots on?
6.
I mean, he played it with an element of safety, screwing the white back, but it was still a very attacking shot.
Seven.
The only problem with Ali's approach is if Stephen starts potting everything.
Well, no one's ever done that. You came close a few times, but don't rely on that as a weapon. And now Ali's got the black available into both corner pockets, even though he's 12 points behind as he glances at the scoreboard. There's enough reds in the open to win this frame without having
50.
to do anything difficult.
$22. $23. $30. 31. Four. $45.
Come into that too much, you'll be disappointed with that shot. Just a little bit of adrenaline there. Just concentrating and pushing the cue through straight and got into it too much.
Yeah, he was purposely trying to get high on the pink so he could stun across for the two reds into the same pocket. So now he'll be just falling through off two cushions. Didn't have to do much of the work, just concentrate 100% on getting the pot. Position was always going to be automatic there.
41.
And if he's straight on this red, it's not too difficult. Only straight enough. I know he's near the side cushion, but he doesn't have to do much with the cue ball. Just judge the weight as he drops this red and play run through for the black in the opposite corner pocket.
$42.
This black will put him 23 points in front, so the two reds in the open with high value colours will be enough to get to the snooker's required stage.
49.
Just a quick glance at the scoreboard. Yes, red, pink, red, black would be enough. Just wondering whether to cannon that red away from the cushion. He's no need to. Well, he could play for the
50.
black, so no point in that. So this black will put him 31 points in front. Another red and a black, and he'll be 39 points in front with 35 remaining.
57.
31 ahead at the moment, 43 left when there's two reds left on.
Of
course, he'll be very wary of the fact that there was a frame that, well, he should have lost when Stephen Maguire needed one snooker. Similar circumstances. Stephen sits there, probably regretting that rash red that he played. So Ali would like to pot this black. He needs the black for the frame, but like to develop the last red here. In goes the frame black. Well, just about developed the red to the extent that he'll take it on. One snooker at the moment needed by Stephen Maguire to tie. But if he pots this red, Stephen will not bother coming back to the table. But not quite there.
Castle,
so
65.
Stephen Maguire still just about in this frame. There you see it, 39 behind, 35 remaining. 1 4-point snooker to tie. And there's your snooker. Well, he may be able to swerve. And well, going across the table like this, it can be missed. Oh, but he's hit it. And he's potted it, has he? Well, unbelievable. So that is frame over. A few people in the audience saw the funny side of that. I don't think Steve Maguire did.
Alicante 1 and the frame.
And Steve Maguire will not bother coming back to the table. So, well, a little bit of frustration there from Steve Maguire. Handed that chance to Ali Carter. The forward with a 65, and he's now back in front at 4-3.
So yes, Ali Carter in front, but Steve, we heard in commentary there from the guys that there was a moment of rashness from Stephen Maguire. But I suppose that is the way he's been playing, although he's been playing aggressively all the way through this tournament.
Yes, you know, 1 minute you're in full stroke and the shot's the right shot. Another time in the game when perhaps you haven't been firing on all cylinders, it becomes the wrong shot. And that's the fascinating thing about snooker. Over other table ball games, there's a points consideration, the scoreline even so as well. And what is one time the right shot can become questionable. For me, analysing that and trying to analyse your own game as a player is something you never always get right.
The quality that we've seen so far in the tournament coming into today, excellent. We've seen the first 7 frames of this semi-final. How much is it the cloth and how much is it the players?
I think it's hard fought at the minute. I don't think either of them have got really settled down. From Ali Carter's point of view, he's had 2 very tough matches. Judd Trump from 12-9 down to win 13-12, and then Jamie Jones, who played brilliant in this championship. He got over the line 13-11. He looked like he was going to win easier than that, and he had to go through the mill to get over the line in the end. So they've been 2 tough matches. So basically, for his viewpoint, I think he just needs to have a foothold in this match to start off with, and he's going about it the right way. As for Steve Maguire, not really settled down yet.
Another thing about this is that they've played a lot of snooker to get this far in the event, and then all of a sudden, looking at the semi-final, it's 4 sessions, and that's sort of like quite overawing in itself to know you've got a match of that length. So you can perhaps feel a little bit sort of punched out.
Well, I don't know whether Ali Carter can just get past the green to play the thin safety. It seems nowadays any break-off shot that doesn't leave a pot on is worthy of a round of applause.
Yeah, and carrying on from what Steve was saying, I always thought that when you start the semi-final, you're only halfway through the tournament in terms of winning. The semi-final and the final are so long, the matches. You're only halfway there.
Good pot. Is he on a colour? Needs to run. Not for the first time. Good pot. Disappointed not to be on one. Yeah, when you look at the number of frames, you've got a 33 frame semi-final, 35 frame final. If they went all the distance, yeah, that would be the same amount of frames you're playing in those 2 matches you played prior. Well, what a pot.
Another aggressive shot, fantastic positional shot there. Really pumped that blue in the corner. 2 cushions.
Seven.
Looks to be a little straight on the green and a little straight on the yellow. We know he's going to attack. Which colour will it be? I think I heard Stephen say that was a kick, meaning a bad contact basically. Cue ball didn't come back immediately. You know, if you cue it nice, let's have a look. Yeah, you can see the jump. And he knew that was going to take the pace out of the cue ball, trying to screw round off 2 cushions for the loose red. Will we play the double? Only if it's type of double you can play and control the cue ball. It doesn't look as though it is to me. And just looking back at that great blue he potted in this frame,
Maguire? Okay.
And people might say, well, wasn't that rash? But the thing was, he gave that thought. He had a look at the situation and looked at the two reds. The rash shot we were talking about in the frame before, he just came to the table and just never thought about any other alternative. That's the difference.
What's it saying? There was method in his madness with that blue, John.
Yeah, and he played it beautifully, and but for the kick on the green, he might still be at the table scoring points. Who's to say? This is the last frame of this first session. I would suggest that Stephen will be pleased if he was to come out of it 4 apiece. That's a good safety shot from Ali, and snookered Stephen on all reds, so he's got to be careful here. The obvious red to play for is the one that's just to the right of the black, but he's got to judge this well.
Foul
We have
for a
to have
miss.
another go at that.
Ali Carter, 4.
Well, that's the line, and he's replaced it perfectly as Leo Scullion. Well done. This looks better. Just rubbed it. Good shot.
You'd never get that in football, John, would you? Scottish referee refereeing Scotland v England.
No, you wouldn't, yeah. You don't even get it in cricket nowadays, do you? But, no, he's a very good referee, and it's a big moment for Leo, refereeing this semi-final. If this runs, it's a very good shot. It's going to cover the side of the red on the left-hand side of the table. If it does, then Ali is snookered on all reds. Well, he's trying the shot that Stephen played before, just nestle on that red just to the right of the black. Looks a bit wider to me. That's not the red he played to hit. If he's not left anything, he's been a little bit fortunate. It's funny there because Ali was looking at Stephen Maguire's body language, trying to see whether he left the red on or not. If you want to know about certain shots, folks, look at the body language. I'll give you an idea whether a ball's on or not.
I think the red may be on, but perhaps the problem is it's too straight and he can't get on a colour. Maybe he can't get through to it.
Yeah, good length for the cue ball. He's got control of this frame at the moment with the safety exchange. You can soon change, of course. One good long pot can turn that around. And he's a tough competitor, Stephen Maguire, and he'll realise the importance of this frame, even though it's only the first session. Doesn't want to drop 2 frames behind if he can possibly help it. So give this frame due care and attention, as will Ali. He'd love a 2-frame advantage. Decent shot if he misses the brown. Decent shot.
Thanks, Stephen.
Very good safety by Ali there. Those are really hard to judge, because you know any thick or thin he's going to can in the red that's near the right hand cushion.
Well, I can't really see a good safety. Well, there is a safety back to balk off one particular red. There's also a chance of a pot which could possibly give him position on the black. Yeah, I could see him playing a safety off that red and possibly getting the cue ball back to the balk end, but will he be tempted by the pot to the right corner? Yeah, it's long and hard, as I say. Stephen realises the importance of this frame, and this shot, he needs to get it safe if that's what he's going to play. Caught it much too thin, and it looks as though he's got away with it. Maybe. Well, it was a good effort, quite a distance, but if he's covered the red near the baulk line with the yellow, he'd be quite pleased with that outcome. Played it off the cushion. I think he needed a half ball contact to get it completely safe. As you see, there's a straight red on here. Not the type of ball that Ali has been too tempted by so far in this match. Well, I think he may have left a path here to a red that will pot into this corner pocket. That's the one I'm referring to. Oh, well, that's unlucky. That's unlucky. To play at that pace made the pot very difficult. He was playing at that pace because he was trying to cannon into other reds, thought every chance, but just, this is what you call the banana shot. Watch the way the cue ball goes up and then the top spin brings it back. A banana.
Yeah, it's amazing. We've been talking all day about Ali's strategy of no-risk snooker. There was a medium length straight red he refused about a few shots ago, and he's played some good safety shots. But now he's got in with first chance in the frame, first good chance to win the frame.
Now you see, it goes up and then the top spin brings it back. Yes, we have no bananas.
Yeah, it's the sort of shot you play in an exhibition, isn't it? Play for the black. If there's a red over the pocket, you know, play it with lots of top.
3.
To spin the white with, as we say, the banana.
Decent chance this now, Stephen, though, isn't it?
4.
2 points to the well. He's not played the best positional shot there. He played for the pink, or well, if he played for the blue, he certainly didn't play for it in the right corner pocket. But it's easy enough, you would have thought. When he got down first time, you just got to be a little bit careful of that red near the left-hand cushion. Seemed to be very close to it. Well, not as close as I first thought. Pot in the blue. He couldn't get the ideal potting angle on the red to the left middle. Could have done if he'd have played a little
9.
roll through, but he felt more confident playing the blue, playing the stun. So he's just got a little bit of work to do with the cue ball now, unless he can hold for the blue again.
10.
Well, I assume it's okay.
May choose to cannon into the pink and red just to hold the white. You wouldn't have wanted to put the pink safe. Makes the break a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, it looks at the moment as though he's going to have to concentrate on the blue. He doesn't want to. It's going to make this very difficult to win the frame at this visit. But now he's not the pink safe. Not much option.
16.
Still 4 reds in the open. He's got the one near the corner, the 2 in the middle of the table, and the one just down from the blue is available into the right middle at least.
$21.
So 19 points the lead. Say he took blues off these 4 open reds and put him 43 points in front, but there'd still be 59 remaining. So he's going to need some of these awkward reds. Well, I can't believe he played the cannon on the black. as it happened, it may have turned out in his favour. I don't think he was playing the cannon. He wanted to just drift by it and be on one of the two reds in open play. But if he's landed straight on this red to the middle, what a bonus. This is the type of shot, by playing the stun, you make the pot more difficult. But he's frightened if he rolls it in and misses it, he'll leave the red to the right corner. I think you should fully commit on these. Well, he's played it well, but playing the little stun made it a bit more difficult, but every credit. Couldn't have played it any better.
$35.
So, Stephen Maguire's pot success creeping up to 87%, but Ali still over 90%, which is very good.
36.
Well, 34 points to lead. Still a possible 67 remaining. As I say, he's going to need some of these awkward reds. So what's this, left middle or far left corner? Left middle, probably. Overcut it.
Ali Carter, 36.
Concentrating that much on finding the gap in between the ball colours. Took his eye off the pot. It's not a bad lead though, the way the balls are, but maybe a chance here for Stephen Maguire in potting this red to the right middle. He can bring these three awkward reds into play. But the only thing is about playing this shot, it's a little bit risky. And the way things have run for Stephen so far, he could pot the red, bring the reds into play and finish on nothing. It's not beyond the realms of possibility.
One.
Yeah, hitting the red's cushion first was always going to be a problem. One of the problems was possibly snookering yourself. And that's why I deliberately chose to cannon the top of the three reds.
Yellow ball.
So, tricky safety this. Red over the right corner. Played it well.
Maguire, one.
He did play it well. He's looking to see if there's a gap between brown and blue, but surely not. No. No, he's trying to swerve through the gap. This is a bit dangerous to me. Well, would you believe it? Would you believe that, eh? There was a gap. Not one to get through to the Reds. Stephen Maguire can't believe it. And he wasn't right behind the line of the shot as we were. But, well, control swerve. You won't see one better. And he's on the black. So, red and black.
9.
To go 49 points in front with just 43 remaining. Where did that gap come from? When you feel as though everything's against you. But
16.
You can't cater for great shots, and that's what can always happen at this game. Someone pull out a perver like Ali did there, And now that red going in means that Stephen Maguire will resign himself to the fact that he'll be 2 frames behind after this first session. I think this is going to be a very interesting match. 2 contrasting characters, the way it's played out today. So, didn't start off very well, but boy, it's been interesting. Ali Carter edging it, and I would say deservedly so, but that was the first of 4 sessions. Ali Carter leads 5-3.
A tough session for both players. Ali Carter's come out on top by 5 frames to 3. I suppose he's almost done or performed in the same sort of manner as Peter Ebdon might have done in a session like that.
Well, the idea of the exercise is to win. It doesn't matter how you do it, you've got to get over the line. And he may very well have thought today, I need to have a good start after having 2 very difficult matches, just to get a foothold in the match. And he's certainly got that, and he's got a 2-frame lead on top of it.
And Steve, an excellent break to finish things off at the end of that session.
Yes, including an absolutely marvellous little swerve shot. Obviously, Stephen Maguire will be sitting in his chair, aggrieved that a little bit of luck involved. You know, he's got to get the swerve right. He's hoping that if he does connect with the red, it's going to go safe afterwards. The bonus of potting it was massive. But, you know, that shot that he's played there, you know, years of understanding how the ball's going to react as you swerve through. He didn't try and over-swerve it, he just did it the right amount and let the cue ball do the work, and it was an excellent shot.
And the thing is, as well, the side was still on after he'd potted it for the second bit that went past the red to pot the black. Yeah. So all in all, I mean, he could have, if he'd have asked for that, he couldn't have asked for any better.
And from 2-0 in front at the start of that session, that really is an awful session for Stephen Maguire. He'll be pretty disappointed with things. It wasn't necessarily his fault, it's just the way it goes, you know, but tough session for both. Ali Carter will be delighted.
But the one thing that both of you said, and a lot of people will be aware of, is the fact it's 33 frames, we've only had 8, and there's only 2 frames in it.
Yeah, listen, there's an absolute mountain to go. I mean, you wake up in the morning, starting the semi-final, you think, I've got to win 17 frames here to get to the final. So there's miles to go, absolute miles.
And Steve, we spoke at the start of the day about the fact that being on the only table in the Crucible Arena does lend itself to different kinds of pressure that you might have not have faced up until this point of the tournament.
No, of course, your centre stage, which is marvellous. You know, you can strut around like a peacock. If it goes well, you just absolutely love it. Strangely, though, if things start to go wrong in a session, you've got to be pretty sort of strong-minded not to start to think, I wonder how this looks to the crowd. You know, is this entertaining? It's not the best start. We should be able to do better than this. Those types of thoughts you've certainly got to sort of eradicate from your mind. They can creep in. You're playing for tournament play, but you can still think about what people are thinking of you.
OK, well, it's Ali Carter with the advantage. After the opening 8 sessions in the semi-final, he leads Stephen Maguire by 5 frames to 3. A reminder that coming up on Sunday, a special programme on snooker supremo Barry Hearn.
There's certain times when you look in the mirror and you say to yourself, you know what?